first piece of advice for someone who said, whatever way you decide you want to move, understand why you've chosen to move in that direction, right? And know that there's certain motivators that won't sustain you. I don't believe that strictly moving for money is sometimes enough to sustain you through difficult times, through difficult waters. I think being still, being quiet for a little bit and understanding like what do you really value? What are the things that ignite that passion in you? And how can you move in those spaces? Like figuring out, why do I even want to move in those spaces? If I want to move up, if I want to, run for something just because I'd like to have this title, I would discourage that. Right.
Yeah.
I would discourage that, because if you haven't identified yourself and you haven't valued yourself beyond the title, it'll be a very difficult space for you to be in mentally. So my suggestion to educators is that you have already tackled the most difficult job in the world. You teach, right? You work with children every single day. So if you can do that, there is little else that you can't do. You could run for office, you could run for local office, you could be a mayor, you could be a town council person, you can be on a board of ed. You have literally chosen a profession that has equipped you with a skill set to do so many things. But you have to pause, give yourself space, and really, really evaluate yourself. And that means all of the wonderful things about you and all of the not so wonderful things about you, and decide, why do I want to be there? And if your why is rooted in your passion, in your actual calling, then even your tough days will be good days. And I'll close with this. When I was younger, I used to ask my mom. My mom and my dad were like so close as a couple. And I used to ask them, my mom, I said, how did you know that you loved dad? And she said, you know what? When I loved even what I didn't like. And so I use that when I tell people, how do you know that you have fallen in love with yourself? When you have learned to love even those spaces of you that need improvement. Even those spaces of you that you may not like, but you know they need improvement, you've learned to love them, and you've learned to understand who you truly are authentically, and you move in that direction, in that passion, in that purpose, and let that be the guiding factor for how you navigate this system. And you recognize also that if your decision is to stay in your classroom until the day you retire, that is such a noble thing to do as well. Do not feel that you need a particular title before you leave to be valuable, because some of the most purposeful people in my life have been my classroom educators. So that's what I would say.